Yo, what is going on, guys? What is going on? Matty here from DCL Blogger, up for another stream. It's something different this morning. Did you notice? Put the intro screen instead of me just flailing around looking for articles to pop up. All right, what's happening? Good to see you all. Regular faces. I recognize all your faces these days. Just put uh, Twitter a tweet out saying that I'm live, so we will wait a couple of minutes before we get into the meat of things. But really interesting things that I've been able to pop up. Going down the whole rabbit hole of AI, usual as usual. 1 second. Okay, yeah, going down the rabbit hole of AI. Unity integrates Tezos blockchain. GPT-3, what the hell is that? Let's look into it a little bit. I don't even know what the heck it is, so I'll be learning with you guys. NFT Fest Australia, we'll talk a bit about that event that's actually today and tomorrow in Australia. And then we have Cock Punch. What the hell is that? That is Tim Ferriss's new project. I know, weird name, but it works. So Kevin Rose and Tim Ferriss, I believe, have teamed up on this project. We'll talk a little bit about this. I don't think there's much information. Anyway, what's going on? We'll hang around a little bit till people join, maybe a couple of minutes. We have MacDeep says hi. What's going on? NFT Addiction Helpline, what's going on? Good morning, good morning. John Incarnation, I hope I said that right. What is going on? Smash the like button. Yes, please smash that like button. Let's go. Hey Maddie, free the fib. Good to see you once again. Probably wait a minute or two. What are we? Wednesday here in Melbourne. Wednesday, finding myself doing less NFT research, I will be honest and candid. Less looking into what's new in the NFT world, because realistically, honestly, guys, there's not much innovative energy in the NFT space. There's new mints, there's people trying to make money, there's artists doing their thing, creatorship is absolutely there. Love that. But the whole NFT scene has dropped a little bit, which is fine. It's fine, because NFT technology is one small part of the overarching growth of technology, right? There's going to be mergers of AI and VR, all these other tech to the NFT world. We're going to see a constant waves of NFT as these surrounding industries also evolve. So I feel like the NFT, checking out NFT news is interesting, but honestly, I'm finding myself more checking out things like, all right, what's going on in the overall metaverse genre? What's happening in VR? What's happening in AR? What's happening in AI? It's one of those things where the surrounding niches or categories of industries when they reach their inflection point, it gives NFTs more of a use case, because suddenly maybe you can have these AI generated NFTs that are kind of brains that you can attach to your avatars that can self-learn and all this sort of things, right? So you can start to play with these random models and might be like, wait a second, this actually brings way more use case to NFTs. So less interested about the next NFT mint, I'll be honest. More interested about just taking a backseat and putting my learning shoes on, right? Putting my learning hat on and getting into the weeds of what's going on, what's new, what's next. All right, good morning. Just admiring the artifact kicks, fake spin music. Yeah. Who recognizes those kicks at the back? I'll pull one up for you guys. The old original Pharaoh shoes. I don't know if you guys recognize these, but these were the first shoe collaboration that Artifact and Ferocious did. And this is an interesting experiment. I'll tell you why this experiment was interesting, because they sold NFTs, right, which came with a physical shoe. The NFT was like this rotating 3D shoe, came with a physical shoe. And to me, it was an experiment as to, all right, what's going to hold more value? You're going to have the sneakerheads wanting to buy the shoes. Will they buy them at $3,000 each? Then you got the NFT degens buying these. Will they value the NFTs more than the shoes? Or will they both share equal value? Which will trade more frequently? What's going to happen here? I always like physical items and NFT sales because it lets me track the the sort of nature of the two, right? Physical shoes or physical items have less liquidity. They're more real. You can touch them, you can smell them, you can show them off to your friends and family in IRL, but they don't have the digital visibility. Tweet something on Twitter, bang, maybe 10,000 people know about it sometimes, maybe more. They don't have the NFT liquidity because suddenly you can put it for sale and someone on the other side of the world, completely anonymous, can click a couple of buttons and buy that off you, right? So to me, it was an experiment, and the shoe went on to retain its value, I would say. I don't think there's many shoes that exchanged hands for more than $5,000. Maybe there was about 10 all up, I think. And the NFT ended up having more value because they were used for mint passes. They're sort of used to speculate on what artifacts going to do. They're an investment vehicle. They're more liquid. Also, they came with an NFT wearable on Polygon that works in Decentraland. So it was a bunch of stuff that I've been tracking since. Yeah. When FIWOs. Yeah, when FIWOs. We're gonna get ferocious on here. What's going on with FIWO world? I know probably really heads down creating that world. It's probably gonna be awesome, but super excited to see what's gonna happen with FIWO world. All right. Do you have any info on the juice? The juice of what? Is that the project? The juice? That Kegijan's Juice Club thing? Or FIWO world. I don't know about what's going on with FIWO world. Kind of like the Damien Hirst NFTs. Yeah, that was an interesting experiment too. So if you guys don't know, Damien Hirst, UK artist, did this 10,000 drop of randomly generated colored spots, right? Cut them all into 10,000 pieces, and then later on went on to do well, if you burn this, you can claim the physical, or you can not burn it and leave it in the digital. And I think half of that audience, so 5,000, burnt it to claim the physical, an original Damien Hirst 101, basically. Which is interesting because it showed like there is a demographic that actually appreciate the physical, and there's a demographic, an overwhelming demographic, 50% plus, that appreciate the digital. And for the physical world, that's interesting to learn about. And for the digital world, it's interesting to learn about that people want the physical. So little experiments like that give us more information as to the numbers of people that believe in the two and the trajectory of the two different IRL and digital collectible industries, right? Yeah, Free the Fib, the Juice project that Medikey is doing a whitelist for. So I believe that is for a Kegijan project. So Kegijan is doing a NFT that integrates into his gaming network. There'll probably be more information on that. So go to Kegijan, Cagyjan, and check out what he's been posting. It is a purchase into his network and his growth. I would say a little bit like Medikey. What else we got? XP, what's going on? Would love to get a Hirst. The price is always so high, even after the burn. Yeah, well, Damien Hirst is a pretty big artist. He's the most wealthiest artist in UK, I believe. That's what Wikipedia says. I actually had 3 Hirsts, and there was a time when they were saying insane volume, and I was like, man, this is gonna go to 20 ETH. I think I bought 3 for 11 ETH, and I flipped them for 20. Super lucky because they dropped after that, and then there was the burn. But they are an interesting purchase in the long term. I guess you can say one of the early major artists to do a decent experiment in the space. All right, let's talk a bit about our news pieces, guys. We are gonna jump back to the comments. I see a couple more questions. I would love to answer them, but you guys know how it is. I get carried away pretty quickly. We'll talk about some happenings in the space, right? Unity integrates Tezos blockchain into its game engine. Into game engine? Okay, just a headline. It's not meant to make sense. Okay, so Unity is a major game engine that games use to build out their games. In fact, we have Decentraland that actually uses the Unity game engine. Pretty sure that's correct. Let me double check. Decentraland Unity. Build more, build better with SDK 6.1. Yep. So Decentraland actually uses the Unity game engine, and I think they combine that with their own modifications to have an SDK that exists in Decentraland that you can use to build your experience, right? But there's also Unreal Engine, and Unreal Engine and Unity are sort of going head to head with their tool set. But Unity, being a major game engine, has now integrated Tezos blockchain, which is actually super interesting. It suddenly means all the games that you see out there that are building on either Unity or Unreal Engine, maybe not Unreal Engine yet, but definitely Unity, can now communicate with the blockchain, specifically Tezos. And I believe this is one of the first, if not the first, implementation of a blockchain into a game engine SDK like Unity. And if you search over here, I've zoomed in, so hopefully it's a little bit more clear. Using the wallet pairing feature of the SDK, developers can allow users to authenticate using their Tezos blockchain credentials. Players can securely authenticate themselves in a game, sign blockchain transactions, gain access to all on-chain assets, and use cryptocurrency to purchase services, features, or in-game assets. That's pretty insane. That's a pretty big unlock. That's actually a major unlock, to allow people to use cryptocurrency to purchase services in a Unity built game is pretty big, right? And they're probably testing this up with Tezos at this point in time. Being able to authenticate yourself using blockchain or your wallet, also pretty insane. You're gonna notice my cat walking around, drinking my damn water. The SDK also enables game developers to capture data on the Tezos blockchain, such as checking which features of the game or in-game assets the user owns. So Unity can feed into the blockchain Tezos and store data on Tezos, it seems. Users can manage the storage of their assets via smart contracts or call off-chain views, creating access to any data stored in the blockchain. So a lot of unlocks here in this combination of two sort of companies coming together. If you scroll down here, the reasons why this sort of chose Tezos seems to be because of this here. Unlike traditional proof of work blockchains, Tezos proof of stake mechanism is an energy efficient approach to securing its network, ensuring that new applications and games built on Tezos don't drive unnecessarily high energy consumption, the company said. So this conversation must have been happening well before the Ethereum transition to proof of stake. And I think Tezos has probably got a very strong sales team that is going around the major platforms and being like, yo, we can implement blockchain on our network. It's, Ubisoft have used us. We've got some momentum, this and that. So, hey, that's interesting. That's interesting for game developers. And if you look at all the games built on Unity, so games built on Unity, let's check it out. You got Fall Guys was built on Unity. Yeah, Pokemon Go built on Unity. Was it? Pokemon Go built on Unity. Unity gives Pokemon Go a more genuine graphics because the game taps, map, and camera apps. Pokemon Go was a viral sensation, attracting blah, 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 blah. Pokemon Go was made with Unity. It's insane. I didn't know that. Beat Saber. Those are some pretty decent games, right? Hearthstone built with Unity. Games built with Unreal Engine, a competitor. Fortnite, of course. You got Stalker, Gears of War. Basically, there's a decent amount of games that have used these engines to build. So these engines being the native languages, basically, of developers or game developers for quite a few years, now being able to, those same game developers being to experiment with blockchain. I mean, a lot of people saw this coming, right? We're building on Unreal Engine. New Ganymede is building on Unreal Engine. And it's inevitable that these engines will implement blockchain because it's a developer kit. If there's a lot of developers looking at blockchain, you want to attract them to unlock new models of what they're building, then you're gonna implement this. Now, what was super interesting is that it unlocked being able to purchase with crypto items. Now, does that mean that you can buy NFTs in games with cryptocurrency? That will be super interesting. Suddenly, maybe one of these Unity built games will become pretty successful with blockchain on the back of it, and you can actually buy and sell NFTs there and go and use your items there. So super, super interesting to see what goes on in that area. What is GPT-3? This is a little bit off topic, so I want to drag this over here. It's a lot more about AI. Let's talk about NFT Fest. So NFT Fest is happening today and tomorrow in Australia. Quite a lot of people going. So over 1,000, I think, attendees, or maybe around 1,000 attendees. It's happening at St. Kilda in Melbourne. I know a lot of people flying down, and there's going to be topics from art and even commercial. I'm super interested in some commercial stuff, right? Some enterprise stuff. So okay, let me learn about I want to click this. Oh, here we go. That's not working. But there were some speakers from like AFL, Rugby Australia, different sports organizations, different commercial applications. I want them to talk about Metaverse, virtual worlds. How are they thinking? What are they doing? What do they want to do? What are their pain points? Because I feel like enterprise level NFT and Metaverse integrations are a big unlock. There's a bridge there that needs to be built. So yeah, this is going on. I'll be speaking on this on today. I'll actually be speaking on it today. I'm speaking on it today at 4:30 p.m. I think it's going to be my 4th public speaking gig, right? I think it's gonna be interesting. I mean, public speaking, I'll be honest, I freaking hated public speaking of any kind. I was the type of person that in English class, if I knew that there was an oral presentation at the end of the year, I'd be freaking out on day 1 of English class. But now I've done like, I don't know, 1,000 YouTube videos and virtual conferences and stuff. And I think YouTube video creating gets you comfortable with being on camera, because you start to articulate your words a bit slower. You're a bit more confident in your delivery of information, and you get comments on people appreciating your information and following you. And you suddenly, in your head, you're like, well, this shouldn't be too hard in public speaking. The start of this year, I think, was my first sort of public speaking event at NFT Melbourne, and it was all right. I didn't really feel too bad. I don't really think about it until I'm on stage and I'm ready to go. That's when I'm like, oh shit, this is actually happening. But hey, this is going to be fun. We're going to have Kevin Rose come in. I think some of these guys are going to come in virtually. Got Tim Ferriss over here, who has released a project called Cock Punch. The Legend of Cock Punch. What is going on? What is going on here? This looks like League of Legends banner sort of thing going on. Seems like an intriguing project that I would like to get involved in and check out. But not much information on this, I will be honest. There seems to be an article leading to a Tim Ferriss audio clip. And then there's a website here which doesn't really have too much information apart from just the basic, hey, it's from the mind of Tim Ferriss. 100% of NFT sales go to SAC Foundation. Registered, blah, blah, blah. Following along Cock Punch, you got their Twitter account. Let's see if there's any information on their Twitter account. I know they're doing a whitelist entry series at the moment for premint.xyz. I also know that they're partnering up with Kevin Rose. So I think Kevin Rose is doing something together with them. What are they doing? So weekend weapons testing. So they're looking at weapons testing, and I don't know how far along development this is. I would imagine it's not very far along development. If we're just looking at images and not animations, then there's no characters that have been rigged. There's no environments that have been built. They're probably a very, very long way away from any real product. But hey, it's going to probably be a pretty exciting NFT sale. I know Tim Ferriss been around for donkey's years. What's his name? Tim Ferriss, if you guys remember or recall, he was the guy that wrote the 4-hour work week, right? The 4-hour work week. And this book became super, I'm talking about super famous. How many people bought this book? Like if I were to go to Amazon, 4-hour work week, it was sort of like efficiency training. How can you do things quicker? How can you learn languages quicker? How can you master certain areas quicker, and how can you achieve everything that you want in a quicker time, right? And then he's got the 4-hour chef, the 4-hour body. So he got really famous with this, and he started blogging and podcasting and built quite a strong virtual brand on himself. And so he's been around for a while. Consistently making content. So it'll be interesting. What's interesting is what this project is. Is it a project that's disconnected to his brand? Or is it one that he will deliver constant value to via his brand, right? So I'm curious to see how this works out. Yeah, I'd probably buy a few of these and see how it goes. All right. What else is there? Is there anything else? You got this. So yeah, we talked about Tim Ferriss, games built on here. Boom, boom. Okay. So the only thing I have to go through is GPT-3. I'll go through this a little bit, then chat to you guys for a while. Yeah. GPT-3. Now, seeing this term thrown out a lot, so I was like, what the hell is GPT-3? What the hell is GPT? So learning a little bit about this. So GP1, 2, 3, I believe they are products by OpenAI. OpenAI being the company that actually was originally co-founded by Elon Musk. I think it was a not-for-profit organization to experiment with OpenAI. Now it is a for-profit organization. I don't know if Elon Musk is still the is still an investor or part of OpenAI at any level. But OpenAI are the guys that actually built the mechanism that implemented in Dota games or gaming. Let's just speak about Dota. If you guys watch Dota, then you would know that there's like they do 5 versus 5 versus AI, right? So 5 humans versus 5 AI, or 1 versus 1 on AI, and AI just dominates, right? And OpenAI, I believe, were the team that were building that algorithm. And at the start, when it was 5-on-5, it was easy to beat because they were like, no way is AI going to figure out how to work together and, you know, gang up on individuals and buy the right items at the right time and be as nimble. But as with self-learning, it is actually so damn good that AI beats real players in Dota. So I think OpenAI built that. They will obviously continue to experiment and build other machine learning algorithms that can surpass human behavior in certain categories. So anyway, GPT-3's deep learning neural network is a model with over 175 billion machine learning parameters. Simply put, guys, GPT-2 gave the rise to the DALL-E and other items and other sort of softwares and outputs where you can put information in and get some sort of information out. Basically, the more advanced this is, the more close to human modeling the algorithm can become. So you'll be able to put in maybe just a sentence, and from that sentence, a more advanced GPT model, one with more machine learning parameters, will be able to output maybe a full-blown blog post, maybe one day a full-blown out book, maybe a full movie series or a full seasonal series, right? Eventually, as GPT advances in its offering as basically a kit that developers can tap into and build tools of, we're going to see more and more advanced things. So I'm finding, and I don't know if this is true, but you guys can correct me, but GPT and the advances of are directly correlated with AI and the tools that we see today. So again, with GPT-2 and 3, we start to see DALL-E, those softwares that can output imagery and information and be like, holy crap, when you put something in here, you can actually output things that are actually quite similar to human creativity, 3D models, tweets, all that sort of stuff. And then with more machine learning parameters, and I'm sure other things that they've added as the GPT models increase in their versions, they will allow for stronger and more human-like outputs that are more lengthier at some times. So like I said, full books, full-blown out movies and series. So it is super interesting to track the advancements of AI, at least from my perspective, because the advancements of AI mean the efficiency of things. And some people will figure out ways to do things that are much quicker. As example, I'll give you an example, right? I actually found Check this out. It's called Quick Crypto News. Okay. Quick Crypto News. This is actually shared on Reddit, and it was shared by us. It didn't really pick up that much traction, but I was like, oh, holy crap, this is interesting. But basically, this dude over here, he created this Twitter account that actually tweets out AI generated tweets, and has a bunch of news input related to crypto in the software, right? So you just probably just feeding it a bunch of crypto news, and it's just scraping the whole internet for news, and they just keep spitting out tweets. So it's like Coinbase CEO said the exchange is holding 2 million Bitcoin worth 39.9 billion. Blah blah blah. It just keeps spitting out random tweets. Coinbase BenQ is based on Lister. I don't even know what the hell that means. Mango Markets hacker allegedly faking curve short attack to exploit Aave. All these random tweets. It's like, oh, this is pretty interesting. This is like straight from the source, whether it be some news article or a Twitter account. It basically scrapes it all and just spits out content. I mean, they're pretty interesting because I can see tweets almost sounding the same. And one of these tweets actually grew traction. Look at this one. Unity announced that it has integrated the Tezos blockchain into the game engine. And this picked up and it's going nuts, right? And this is a bot that's spitting out these tweets. So it's just picking up stuff and then throwing it out there as its own tweets. And it was like made, I think, like a week ago. Oh no, it's March 2021. But I think this was like, I remember the guy promoting this only recently, but pretty dead account and randomly tweeting relevant information. This is interesting for me because I can see myself making something similar for the NFT industry and just using it to give me info so that I can just wake up in the morning, read this as my news and be like, oh, you know what? I'll make some tweets about this. I'll make some threads about this. I'll make some YouTube content, some TikTok content, some shorts about this. Maybe in time, I can get this, feed it into something. That algorithm can go find out more information and make me a TikTok script that I can just open up and just start saying, right? So anyway, those efficiencies, think about the efficiencies. It takes me about 15 to 30 minutes to go on Twitter to figure out what the heck's going on. Or I can just read a feed of this within 5 minutes and know what's going on, right? So suddenly I've saved myself 25 minutes. It takes me 5 to 10 minutes to write scripts for these things. I can save myself that. If an AI can do that, it takes our team some time to make thumbnails. Maybe we can save some time there. So companies will start to implement AI to make certain parts of the process quicker and faster. This is just scraping the surface. Now, disclaimer, I would probably not jump on anything NFT and AI related just yet. I can see NFT projects being like, yo, the next AI, you know, we're doing something in AI with NFT that's going to be big. And suddenly that being a bit of a buzzword or a buzz way of getting mints. The only reason I would maybe invest or participate in anything AI and NFT related would be from a founder or a team that have extensive business development and AI development or AI industry experience. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Let me jump to you guys for a little bit and read some questions. There's a bunch of them. I've just been ignoring them because if I get into questions, then I start to lose my track of time. 8:32 a.m. So a few minutes with some questions with you guys. I'm going to scroll it all the way to the up. So this is huge. Forget going to each game. Go right for the engine. Exactly, right? If Unity and Unreal Engine and stuff like that, they implement blockchain capabilities, then any developer can, instead of building their game from scratch and finding difficult ways to integrate blockchain, they can just build a sick game and then go, boop, okay, we're going to integrate this to Tezos blockchain, and suddenly all those Tezos users are now potential users of that game, right? So pretty big. Good morning. Is this the real Matty or AI version? Good question. Who knows? This is GPT-12, right at live. XP, yes, this is huge. Sorry, you got to head back into work, says John. Take care, John. See you next time. GM to Matty's cat. Where did it go? I don't even know where it went. Good morning, Matty. Hey, Matt. This is Max. What's going on? What's going on? My opinion on Bollycoin. I think Bollycoin will take some time to build out their offering. Very exciting in the bull run when they were releasing NFTs that were Bollywood related. I think there's probably a really good fit there, but I think some things are just either going to take a long time to take off or just may not take off at all. I think anything in the NFT and news, anything in NFT and art and culture, I sort of have faith in, but sometimes it can take a while. Land deals, I guess we are going much lower. Sub 10k is easily on the table. So I think you asked a question before land deal. Sub 10k, sub 10k on what? Is that on Bitcoin? Yeah, maybe. Bitcoin's gonna fall sub 10k. The way I assess it is the amount of fear in the air. Are people looking at crypto and being like, "Oh my God, it's over"? Are my friends and family concerned pulling out the capital? If they have, or if they are, then I'd be like, well, it sort of seems like the bottom. Would I invest at these points? Would I invest? I invest in times where bottoms seem likely, but I don't go all in, right? So say I've got $100,000 and now it seems like a lot of fear in the air is driving down prices and some good deals abound. I would invest, say, maybe $10,000 of that 100,000, maybe 20,000, maybe on how bullish I am, right? I would, and if I get it wrong, that's fine. It'll drop a bit lower. I'll lose a little bit on that 20,000, but hey, I've got 80,000 on the side. I can put back in to average that cost. So I will put that back in, right? So I'll put more in the next drop or reassess, and I'll keep assessing that risk things. Max says, you used to play golf in St. Kilda. There we go. Brendan Clancy, do you think the people paying for a blue check mark realize that it is an NFT? Is it an NFT? I don't even know. I guess it is, right? It's a digital item in a way. Yeah, in a way it is. Hey, that's actually an interesting thing. The blue check mark, in a way, is an NFT. It's kind of like a digital flex. People are getting the blue check mark as a digital flex for an NFT. Very interesting. Amazing place. Wish I could have gone, says Max. Yeah, nice place. Any projects on art blocks you find interesting? Sergey says, art blocks is one of those things that has been on my bucket list to check out for a very long time. And I know that art blocks and the niche of computer generated or algorithmically generated creative outputs are going to have value. Absolutely. I just don't have the time. It's my fault. I should really keep on top of it, right? Any thoughts on Polygon NFTs? Can you do a section on it someday? Yeah, I think you know what will increase volume to Polygon, IMX, and these sidechain or layer 2 solutions is if we could go to MetaMask or any digital wallet and we don't have to change the network. We don't have to change the network. We don't have to go to a separate website. It's all accessible just like how you regularly buy NFTs on Ethereum or anywhere else. Or even better, you just sign in with a username password and you can just buy an NFT. Feels like you're spending points and it doesn't matter which chain you're on. I think when that becomes a thing, it's not going to matter where the heck you launch on, Polygon, IMX, or anywhere else apart from the gas fees, but in terms of experience, it should be predominantly the same. Yeah. Good morning, says Serg. So we've got another Serg. What did you think of the Viviverse reveal? I do not know what happened in Viviverse. What happened in Viviverse? I don't know. Let's go check it out. Maybe we'll check it out next time. I have to stay true for my 35 minutes. I'm gonna stop going over that time. But anyway, guys, it's a few pieces of interesting information. Again, not everything will be NFT related, but there is Metaverse, Web3 wide information that I think we should all be tapping into or keeping on our radars. So again, if you tuned in, thank you. Tomorrow is Thursday. Yes. So I should be able to stream as usual. And then we got the Friday. So it'll be 3 weeks of continuous streaming, 35 minutes each. So again, thanks for jumping in. Big thank you for everyone that tuned in, liked this video or shared it or whatever. Tell your friends about these daily streams. Let's see if we can get these numbers up to maybe 50 by the end of the year. live at any time. Currently we're at 27. So I'm going to show you the desktop over here. We have, you can see over here, it says 27 watching now, right? 28 watching now. So let's see if we can hit the 50 mark, the 50 watching now mark, right? Let's see if we can hit that. Maybe let's aim for it at the end of the year. I reckon I could probably hit it. I'm going to make it nice and easy. It's all about easy targets for me these days, guys. I don't really, back in the day, I used to be like, you know what, Matty? You're going to get 1,000 people watching this in the next 2 weeks. And then I wouldn't get that. And then I'd be like, oh, that sucks. Maybe I won't do this. But now I'm just like, all right, easy targets, slow and steady. Just keep going. Just find the fun and joy in it as usual. Anyway, guys, it has been fun. Let's reconnect tomorrow and we will cover more crypto news.